Warning. Is it time to finally do it? Is it time to finally buy stocks? Because we have these nice hooks here. And if we go to NVIDIA, our stairway to heaven, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got higher highs. This is looking pretty bullish. And at least for me, I purchased a lot of names today, roughly 10. I've now increased my holdings in my 401k account. Morgan Stanley and Goldman see resilient economy supporting Stonks. So Stonks are back. And the S&P is higher by a beautiful 54 cents today and another 45 cents in after hours. Nice. If we go here to QQQ, up by 78 cents. If we look over to FXI, this one is up by 1.28%, so dramatically higher than the others. Over here in Canada and in Germany, these ones are actually red though, so that Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs note to buy America, that seemed pretty good. My question here for Friday is going to be whether it's going to be a Friday the 13th, because that is Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Is that going to be a spooky Friday? Because we did have trade talks happen in London. I'm not sure if anything really came out of it, but I did see this. So Jensen did say that, so Jensen Wang, UK, he said that the UK is currently in a special situation. Here we go. This is from 12 hours ago. So Jensen in his nice black suit, meaning his jacket and his shirt, says that the UK is in a Goldilocks position for AI. Oh my goodness. So this is why I find it so interesting, is because now he doesn't have Trump by his side. Remember, he went everywhere with Trump. So if Jensen's saying that the UK is in a Goldilocks position, and remember, there's a trade deal with the UK. That's where they are right now. They're over in London. Oh, and all the big guys are there. We got Letnick, Scott Bessent, and Greer. So I'm really curious as to what's going to happen here, notably about these rare earths, because I've been doing some research and I have a company I'm very excited about, and I think there's going to be an update on it soon. So anyways, looking here to the notes, what we can note is this. Germany and Canada already in new all-time highs. Can the S&P join? I think it can. So is it going to be like Thomas? Is it going to finally do it and go higher? Because here's one chart I want to actually show you, which is very encouraging for me. Let's look to a 3-month chart, and let's look here to Q. Let me actually get my lines back. 1 second here. Let's get those lines back. I believe I'm Picasso, so it's like if my lines aren't on there, then something is not right. Remember when we talked about going back to, I made a mistake here. Let me go back. All right, SPY. Let's go to SPX. Let's look here to a 3-month chart, and we're looking back to 1999. And the reason why is because when we had this pattern here, I mentioned it, we have a bearish engulfing candle, and that is followed by a bullish engulfing. Then what happened again going into 1999? The exact same thing. If we zoom in a little bit closer, I'm going to right click and go to a log scale. Where are we here? Logarithmic. This will now just make it easier for us to see the historical data. So right here, bearish engulfing followed by a bullish engulfing. All right, one right there. Then we have a second one right here. And then we have the blow off top. So, hey, I keep saying, man, I think we're pretty far from support, and we are. Look, that's where support is. It's like half on the quarterly chart. But we're getting awfully close to a bullish engulfing on this month. If we manage to go to new all-time highs, that's it. All right, we just got to tap it in. That's it. Just tap it in. Just like we would look for if Happy Gilmore was looking to just tap it in, right? We got our stairway to heaven here. So just like the beach ball that's now finally bounced now out of the water and went all the way down, build up some pressure. You can see the volume there, got all the way over, back tested and bounced. So when it came back down to test the surface of the water, it found a bounce. It found support. So this is really notable because if it used to be resistance and now it's acting as support, that's really good. This gap here does not have to fill. What I want to remind you of is that we do often leave gap and goes. And right now we got a couple of gaps. So this is a V recovery, basically. It's V. Met one massive hole here, another hole here, another hole here. That's 3 gaps in the chart. If we go back to the beginning of Joe Biden's presidency, this is where we have a gap and go too. Where are we here? We're looking for... All right. Where are we? Yeah, like right here. So like going all the way back here, we start to get gaps. This was also around when we had the vaccine too. So there were some gap ups into here, but look, there's a gap that never gets filled there. Gap back above the 50 over both averages. That's a pretty nice rally right there. So there's a lot of things which are actually converging that tell us that if all we can manage to do is just tap it in or continue to buy the dips, then we're probably going to melt to new all-time highs. Right now, the volume stinks, but that's okay because sell in May and go away is a real thing. There's not usually a lot of volume in the summer. If you could please do me a huge favor and consider smashing that thumbs up or subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. So going into tomorrow, we continue to be we're going to be at 3 out of 4 bull now because I think we made a higher high. Yeah, we did. 600, 601. We made a weekly higher high than 2. Yes, 600, 601. Now the difficulty here is just that we actually have a failed breakout. So I'm going to say we're 4 out of 4, but remember, that's based on the last closed candle or as of last Friday. If you wake up on Friday the 13th and you're like, whoa, why are these charts so spooky? I'm going to tell you why. It's because now we already have an area that might act as resistance. It's 600 or 6,000. We're exactly at 600 in post-market here or after hours. So as we're battling for that area, we have to see where we close the month out and the week. If we close back below last week's high, it means we're going to be getting a failed break. Technically, that's not bearish. It just could be a topping pattern. What we had so far was Apple, and there's a couple curious stocks actually today for news. Let's look at those really fast. So Apple today, bearish engulfing daily candle, closed below the low. They had their WWDC today in their keynote address. It wasn't terrible, but it was to sell the news. Look at Warner Bros. Gap ups are still for selling too. Whoa, bearish engulfing candle. Yes, they're splitting and people don't care. Now look at Tesla. That Tesla gapped down and it pumped up. Bullish engulfing candle. Kudos to the Tesla bulls. So going into the 12th, which is going to be the reveal of the robotaxi, I really want to see what happens there. This week looks really important too. We don't have any major updates from these two yet. I would expect as talks continue that we're going to get those though. WWDC does go for the rest of the week. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Starting on Wednesday, we're expecting hot CPI. It's going to be going from 2.3 to 2.5. Is the market going to react negatively to that? It doesn't matter what I think. What I've told you is that I'm looking at one chart. It's the US 10-year note. And what does it do? Keeps hovering around a really strong area. This is where the market had some anxiety when we were here. Well, now that's support. We bounced off of it. So if we look at higher time frame charts, this is not what we want. The W, which I'm pointing to here, is supposed to lead to a breakdown. But we have to lose the averages, which we've not done yet. We have to fall back below the 50, lose the 200. We're still above the 50 here. We haven't gone below. So right now, this is bullish. If this is bullish, this is bad for stocks. That's all I'm going to have to say. There we go. All right, wrapping up here. So hang out with me tomorrow if you want. We've got a lot to go through. And if you want to watch the video now queued up, you can see what it's like to come in at 8:30 tomorrow for more details on all the key charts. Thanks so much.